Good evening and welcome to the first spring edition of UAlbany Overtime. I'm Donna Conrad.
And I'm Troy Farkas.
Now, Troy, it's been a while since we've been back in the studio. It's really good to be back.
Yeah, definitely. Very excited. We got a great spring upcoming, and I'm looking forward to see how the Danes do this spring.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. It was a big day for UAlbany football last Wednesday as the Danes inked 18 on National Signing Day. Let's see what head coach Greg Gattuso had to say about the incoming freshman class.
For us, we're excited about this class. We think, it's really the first one we've really had time to spend recruiting from start to finish with a lot of depth, knowing more of the coaching, especially in New York and New Jersey and through the Northeast. So we're excited about this class. We believe we filled a lot of needs in our conference. When you're trying to catch up in a new conference and you're trying to catch up scholarship-wise, the thing that hurts the most is depth. We like the kids we brought in. We think there's some kids in this class that can help us right away, and obviously there'll be some kids we can redshirt.
Coach Gattuso is excited about his guys. Like you said, it's really the first class of UAlbany he's been able to recruit from start to finish. The Danes bringing in 18 new players, so let's take a look at some of the newbies who will wear the purple and gold next fall. Got to have a good quarterback to win games, right? With the uncertainty around the starting job, the Danes bring in quarterback Jake Thompson out of Western New York. Coaches pegged the signal caller as a, quote, big dual sport athlete at quarterback who's demonstrated the ability to be a great leader. Sounds good to me. But to be a good quarterback, you've got to have guys who can catch the ball, right? Josh Gontarik's future is up in the air, so the team addresses it by bringing in Trey Hopkins from the Chesapeake area. Coaches describe him as a fast and explosive athlete capable of making dynamic plays when the ball is in his hands. Check out this play if you don't believe me. The snap goes over his head, but he's able to gather it and break loose once he gets in the open space. Certainly the type of playmaker the Albany offense needs. On the other side of the ball, Hopkins will get the chance to practice against Rocco Marucci, a playmaking corner who played his high school ball, according to coaches, against some of the very best competition the state of Florida has to offer. And Donna, let me tell you another guy to watch out for next season. Skylar Clinton, 6'2", 230-pound transfer from the University of Wyoming, will get a chance to play linebacker with Michael Nicastro, who missed last season with that torn ACL. But with Coach Greg Gattuso bringing in the guys he wants, certainly a promising future for the UAlbany football team.
Absolutely.
And we should look forward to seeing a better UAlbany football team next fall.
And now switching gears to basketball, the men just won their most recent game at Binghamton, and they look to stay hot as conference play continues. The Danes currently sit at second in the America East Conference behind Stony Brook with a 9-2 conference record. The team will continue conference play on Thursday at New Hampshire, who occupies the 3 spot in the standings.
Every year, the Big Purple Growl is one of the most anticipated home games of the year for the UAlbany men. But before we get to the game itself, pretty cool thing happened last Saturday night. Seth Curino welcomed back the 2005 and 2016. That was the first UAlbany one to make the NCAA tournament since they moved up to Division I. Will Brown embraced his former players, including current Siena assistant coach Lucius Jordan, as well as fan favorite Brian Lillis. And then last but not least, Brent Wilson with his daughter, taking the plaque from athletic director Mark Benson. How precious. But enough of the sappy stuff, let's get to the game. The Vermont Catamounts getting hyped up to try and knock off the Danes. I have a feeling this guy will have something to say about it. First half, Ernie Duncan give and go with Kurt Steidel, takes Peter Woolley to the basket using the glass for the score. Now Duncan guarding Woolley. Whatever you do, I can do it better. Woolley with a lefty finger roll puts UAlbany ahead by 4. He finished with 20. Still in the first half, Cam Ward, known as a shooter, he gets to the lane, uses the footwork, and the China cuts the lead to 2. Now for the good stuff. Freshman Joe Primo drives left, kicks out to Dallas Anno, who rises and bang, knocks it down. This guy liking what he sees out of the Aussie, but Vermont has a response. Traybell Haynes finds Steidel, gets the 3 to go right in front of the UAlbany bench. Okay, enough of that. Big man Greg Steyer says, "Beat me, coach, I gotta eat." Backs it down and goes reverse. UAlbany will be down 10 at the half. Ward, looking to keep it going, calls for the screen. He doesn't need it. Eyeing Peter Woolley for the tray. Now Woolley, looking to get his team back in the game, attacks the basket for 2 points. The Danes, they're creeping up. Vermont's Drew Urquhart says no thank you and slams it down, but the lead wouldn't last. Evan Singletary, I told you he'd be back. I may be small, but I'll score anyway. Singletary whips out the guns, flexes for the crowd. UAlbany, they soon get back in the lead. 2 minutes left now. Ward hooks up Duncan for a huge three-pointer. Vermont trailing by 2 points. Now 15 seconds left. Duncan goes for the tie. Can't get it to fall. UAlbany wins the game 75-71. Troy, what'd you see? On a night where UAlbany welcomed back its 2005 and 2016 that made it to the NCAA tournament, UAlbany started slow, but they finished fast behind the play of senior leaders Peter Hooley and Evan Singletary. They did so tonight in front of a huge crowd at the annual Big Purple Corral game, which usually draws a ton of fans every year that this game is played. I spoke to Will Brown after the game. He thought he got Vermont's best shot, but he's just very excited to come away with the win.
But for the most part, we were aggressive, attacking. You know, that's how we play. You know, we can't miss 12 free throws, but we got hit 37 times, and that's us. We needed to make them make plays, tough plays, you know, make them make contested shots.
You just got to keep making sure you win, and Coach always says that good teams win at home and great teams find ways to win on the road, so we're going to make sure that we continue to take care of business at home and make sure people don't want to come in here because they know that when they come in here they're going to get beat if they haven't lost it.
After coming off a big win at home, the men traveled to Binghamton Monday night to play the Bearcats. The Danes would go on to win by 13. Evan Singletary led the team with 19 points, and Mike Rowley collected his second career double-double with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Now looking ahead, the team faces big challenges, taking on the Seawolves, who've been nothing short of great. They are undefeated in conference play and have won their last 16 after losing to Northeastern back in December. The Danes are going to have to play their best game next Wednesday if they want a chance at ending the Seawolves streak. There should be a big crowd at CEFCU for the game, so hopefully a little home court advantage will give the men an edge. And we'll take it over to the women's side right after the break, so stay tuned. You're watching UAlbany Overtime.
Welcome back. You're watching UAlbany Overtime. If you thought the men's basketball team was having a good season, then you clearly have not been paying attention to the women. Coach Abe's team stands at 20-3 overall in the season, including an 11-0 record in the America East. Taking a look at the conference standings as a whole, Albany 1 game ahead of Maine. The Danes, they host New Hampshire Thursday afternoon as a part of the annual Education Day game where elementary students from around the area come and support the Danes during the school day. A huge game for Coach Abe's team if they want to get the #1 seed in the conference tournament. Stony Brook at 8-3 in third place, as you can see, riding the coattails of UAlbany and Maine.
The women continue to dominate as they beat Vermont 75-40 on Saturday. Tiana Jo Carter stepped up big time with Richards feeling under the weather. She put up 18 points and 18 rebounds, both career highs for the sophomore. The Danes took on Binghamton on Monday and won by 6.
Speaking of Richards, she's been raking in the milestones lately. She hit the 2,000-point mark last month, a little over a week ago surpassed Jamar Wilson as the all-time leading scorer at UAlbany. She's currently at 2,191 points and counting, which is good for 6th place in conference history. Now, she'll have to pick up the pace to catch up to her teammate, but junior Amani Tate hit 1,000 career points in that 35-point victory against Vermont.
Congratulations to Zakiya Saunders for setting the program's single-season assist record last week against UMBC. At the end of the third quarter, she would kick it out to Erin Coughlin for a corner 3, giving her 160 assists this season.
The UAlbany men's lacrosse team enters a new era, an era that won't feature a Thompson family member on the team. Here's Donna for more on the team's new style.
Thanks, Troy. So, obviously with the loss of Lyle Thompson, there are questions about how the offense is going to be run this year, but Coach Scott Marr brought in UAlbany alum Merrick Thompson to run the offense and give it a new look. And so here's what some of the players had to say about that.
This year we're more of an all-around dodging team, which last year we kind of relied on Lyle to do most of the dodging, but this year Merrick's really preaching on fast ball work, and he's really getting everyone involved in the offense. Everyone's dodging, everyone's cutting, everyone's feeding. So it's really, I think it's going to be harder for the defense to stop this year.
It is major losing Lyle, so you're going to see less through one person and more attacking from pretty much everywhere and from 6 different guys on the field instead of an offense sort of going through one person all the time.
I think just the way that Merrick and Coach Marr work is just that we've all bought in, and it's new to everyone. So it's different, but I think if we put the time into it, and I think it's going to work really well for us.
Now, in years past, it's always been the offense that's been the strength of this team, but the guys will tell you this year, it's all about the defense.
Defensively this year, we returned everyone on close basically, so we have a lot of team chemistry. So we're looking to be pretty tight defense, and the plays on that we should be really strong. Defense, it always wins championships.
And it's a unit. There are no individual guys. This is Albany defense. There's 7 of us, and if we play as a unit, our confidence is high.
Now, players and coaches are excited about the time they've been able to spend outside with the weather being so great.
This is my 5th year here, and this is by far the best winter we've had. And to be able to get out and play full field for the last 3 weeks now, as opposed to in the past where we've had to go inside and not have a full field and it limits you. And this makes it easier to work on your riding and your clearing and your full field systems. So it really does give us an advantage, and I feel like we've progressed a lot.
What a great start for us, really, with the weather. We've been outside since day one. The temperature has been great, so being on a full field, being outside, our conditioning level, just our spacing, and playing on a real field is a huge benefit for us.
For UAlbany Overtime, I'm Donna Conrad.
Thank you, Donna, for the report. The Danes are ranked number 12 in the preseason coaches poll and picked to win the America East again this year. Coach Scott Marr's team opens the season next Sunday versus Syracuse at the Carrier Dome.
Now, back in the fall, the Great Danes women's soccer team won its first America East championship and earns a bid to the NCAA tournament. The team looks to return in the fall and get back to the title game to hopefully win another championship. This past week, 6 players signed to help continue the team's success. Head coach Caitlin Coachella said, quote, "We have such an incredible group of young women joining our program in 2016. The skill level and overall character of this class is one that I am very proud of. We have the right combination of players in this class who can contribute in various positions on the field," end quote. Stay tuned for our closing thoughts. You're watching UAlbany Overtime. Welcome back to UAlbany Overtime. Now, before we go, UAlbany athletes are continuing to make noise in professional sports. Senior lacrosse standouts John Maloney and Blaze Reardon were taken in the 2016 Major League Lacrosse Draft. Maloney was taken 22nd overall, and Reardon was taken 51st overall. In all, 19 UAlbany players have been drafted and or played in the MLL since 2007.
That is incredible. Let me tell you about another pro, Donna. You all remember Brian Parker, the former UAlbany tight end? Now with the Kansas City Chiefs, he actually got the chance to play in the playoff games for the Chiefs against the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. Now, he didn't record a catch, but he was on the field, and that's pretty cool.
Great day to be a Great Dane. And a big congratulations to former UAlbany player and coach Samson Brown. In his first year as defensive back coach for the Broncos, he helped coach Denver to a big victory in Super Bowl 50.
Well, congrats to Coach Brown. I mean, that Broncos defense was stellar in Super Bowl 50.
Unbelievable.
Albany Sports, making us proud. That's all we got for today, but please check back with us next episode for news and highlights, especially the big rematch for the men's basketball team against Stony Brook. But for now, UAlbany Overtime, I'm Trey Farkas.
And I'm Donna Conrad, saying good night and go Danes.